The rise and influence of Abu Mohammed al-Golani, a leader at the crossroads of Syria's turmoil. In the complex and shifting sands of Syria's conflict, few figures have emerged as polarizing and enigmatic as Abu Mohammed al-Golani. As the leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, one of the most prominent rebel groups in Syria, al-Golani has been both a symbol of opposition to the Assad regime and a focus of international condemnation, earning the designation of a specially designated global terrorist by the United States. This duality reflects the broader dilemmas of the Syrian civil war, the fine line between rebellion and extremism, governance and insurgency, and legitimacy and outlaw status in the eyes of the international community. Al-Golani's from humble beginnings to the global stage. Born in the late 1970s in Syria's eastern Deir ez-Zor province, Abu Mohammed al-Golani's early life was unremarkable. He pursued Islamic studies and became acquainted with jihadist ideologies during the US-led invasion of Iraq in 2003. Like many, disillusioned by foreign intervention, he joined the ranks of militant groups resisting American forces, eventually linking up with al-Qaeda in Iraq, AQI, the precursor to the Islamic State, ISIS. When the Arab Spring reached Syria in 2011, al-Golani returned to his homeland, leveraging the upheaval to carve out a niche within the burgeoning opposition. He founded Jabhat al-Nusra, the Nusra Front, in 2012, an al-Qaeda affiliate that quickly became a powerful force against Syrian President Bashar al-Assad's government. However, al-Golani's ambitions stretched beyond simply opposing Assad. He sought to position his faction as a dominant player in the post-Assad future, breaking away the formation of HTS. Al-Golani's rise coincided with a broader fracturing of Syria's opposition. By 2016, his allegiance to al-Qaeda became a liability in the eyes of Syrians and foreign backers who feared the conflation of legitimate opposition with global terrorism. In a strategic move, al-Golani announced Jabhat al-Nusra's break with al-Qaeda, rebranding the group as Jabhat Fatah al-Sham. This pivot was part of a broader effort to gain legitimacy. A year later, al-Golani merged various factions under the banner of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, HTS. Despite his attempts to shed the jihadist label, the US and other nations continued to view HTS as a terrorist organization, citing its roots and continued extremist tactics. The rebel stronghold, Idlib province. HTS's control over Syria's northwestern Idlib province has cemented al-Golani's role as a de facto authority. This region, home to millions of displaced Syrians, is the last major rebel stronghold in the country. Under HTS rule, Idlib has operated with a semblance of governance, with al-Golani overseeing courts, law enforcement, and local councils. Critics argue that HTS's governance is marked by authoritarianism and human rights abuses, with dissent suppressed and civilians subjected to harsh conditions. Yet, supporters contend that HTS has brought a degree of stability to a region otherwise ravaged by war. For many in Idlib, al-Golani is seen not as a terrorist, but as a pragmatic leader navigating impossible circumstances. A global terrorist, and Assad's challenge. The United States designated al-Golani a specially designated global terrorist in 2013, citing his ties to al-Qaeda and his role in facilitating extremist operations. This designation underscores the international community's challenge in addressing figures like al-Golani, whose roles defy simplistic categorization. While HTS has distanced itself from global jihadist networks, its continued presence complicates efforts to resolve the Syrian conflict. Assad's government, bolstered by Russian and Iranian support, has repeatedly framed all opposition groups as terrorists, leveraging figures like al-Golani to justify brutal military campaigns. Yet, the persistence of HTS in Idlib highlights the Assad regime's inability to reclaim full control of Syria. Despite significant military victories, Assad has failed to secure legitimacy or stability across the country, with Idlib serving as a glaring symbol of resistance. Thank you. I'm Amanda with Global News.